Hi Steve. So the first version, or at least the foundations for the VCF tool are ready, and I want to show it to you. And I guess we should meet later, so you tell me about some of the features we are considering for the next steps. So the code is kept here, so it's a version control system, GitHub, it's very popular in the field. So if you go to this link here, you get the hosting of the VCF tool directly from the GitHub environment. And I'll show you a quick example, and then I'll try to show you too that you can use it from many other places. So that's the whole point, and the reason why it took us a while to get here is that this is fully integrated and can be made part of other tools. So for instance, I'm using here Dropbox, so this should solve some of the problems with managing data. We don't have to be sending them back and forth all the time. So here I'm going to go to my VCF folder in my Dropbox, and I'm going to load all of your files that start with a D, for instance. And notice now they're coming from Dropbox to this machine, which means I don't have to have them locally. But you're saying, well, but you do have them locally, and I do have them locally too. So I'm going to go there to where I have them, and let's start them. And I'm going to get the A tools now, because the VCF files, they are fairly large files, as you can tell, tens of megabytes, and because they are local, they are processed very quickly. There they are. The A VCF files are now here, and the B VCF files just came through while we were talking. So you see that you can load VCF results stored in a different machine than the one you're using. This should come out handy. Okay, now you can look at each of them, what's inside, what is the information, and now we are building tools to do the statistical analysis, say for instance to compare two groups of VCF results, potentially to embed them in genome browsers. There's a new generation genome browsers coming out. This is probably the best one. It's called Genome Maps. It's also the one that IGC is using, so the international partner to PCGA. Let's see if I have a link somewhere handy. Let's see. I do. There it is. So this is an example in the IGC tool of using a genome browser as part of another work environment. So in our case, it will be part of a VCFtbox or even a molecular tumor board toolbox at some point. Anyway, so this is Genome Maps being used to analyze and process data stored somewhere else. So back to our tool here. Now I mentioned that this tool can be integrated in other environments. So we have this thing coming online soon, the integrated pathology ecosystem. So there are a bunch of modules here, and the VCF module is right down here. So all you have to do is to load it, and there it is. And I could choose the files and analyze them. Pick an example. There it is. In spite of the size of the file, especially if it's local, it's really, really quick. And if it's not local through Dropbox, you also get a decent transfer rate. Now let's see, I showed you IPE. Okay, so you could also get to these modules by bookmarking a single link. So if I go back here and I paste just the link, it loads both the integrated pathology ecosystem and the VCF toolbox and displays it ready for usage. So the other tools are still here. Now this is more of a curiosity, the next two. So one is that there is also another environment that is more graphic in nature, called Webs, and you can read more by clicking here. So Webs Google Code Git Index HTML, it's hosted by Google. There are some reasons why this is not a waste of time. Google has a nice integration between hosting applications and versioning them. So I'm going to go to the store, and I load VCF, back to my apps, and there it is. And now I could do the same thing. Load the file locally or remotely through Dropbox, and it should be coming. There it is. So this was a very large file, as you could tell from the time it took to parse. Still within 2 or 3 seconds. And all the contents, and soon you'll get the statistical analysis and the genome browsing somewhere over here. And that's what I need to talk to you about. One last one, and this is more of a curiosity really, is that if instead of Dropbox you like Google Drive, same thing, same tool delivered in another environment. So the motto of all of this is that we are now ready to deploy uh, tools that look at the variant calling format file type of information and deliver them in the context of either computational statistics environments or just genome browsing environments, and all of this through the web without you needing to download anything. Alright, I'll be looking for you to get your feedback on this and find out exactly what tools we should develop first. Talk to you soon then.